The question for today is, what type of parts do you need to add to a standard run-of-the-mill AR15 to accurize it? Let's get into this. Alright guys, so the thing that prompted this video today was that TriggerTech sent me this AR15 duty trigger to do a review of some time back, and I'm just now getting to that. It is set at 3.5 pounds. It's fixed at 3.5 pounds, but it's a TriggerTech trigger, and it's considerably better than just the standard factory trigger found in most ARs. Now this is just a run-of-the-mill CMMG Mark IV. It is a standard 16-inch AR15. There is nothing special about this other than it's made by CMMG, who usually does a pretty good job building their ARs. What we're doing is we're going to add these various parts, starting with the trigger, to see what kind of differences we can make in accuracy as we add parts. And so what I've got to add today, besides the trigger then, is I've got this Holosun HE510C. It's the green dot version. I've got that, and I've got the Holosun 3x magnifier. So I'm going to be putting these onto there as well in place of the basic Crimson Trace red dot, which I'm not a huge fan of this guy. It's worked fine. It's just got some limitations, I feel, and so I think it's an upgrade to go to the Holosun pairing here. And then we are going to also add the KGM can out on the front. So I've got the adapter that I need in order to direct thread the R30T titanium can out here on the front. Might end up changing the buttstock as well, but for now it's going to be trigger, it's going to be optics, it's going to be can, and we're going to see what kind of accuracy difference we get, if any. We're also going to be throwing a completely different paint job on this rifle, so stick around for that reveal later in the video. It's going to look completely different and hopefully a lot better. First things first, we're going to go out to the range. We're going to get a group with it just exactly how it sits at 100 yards, just to see how it groups on paper. Then we're going to start changing stuff. And probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to change one thing at a time and get a new group each time. All right guys, out at the range, again, this is your run-of-the-mill AR. We're testing for accuracy at 50 yards. A lot of people do 50-yard zeros. I generally do 36, but all groups look good at 36 yards. So we're gonna go to 50 and just get her on paper and see where we're at for the first couple shots, make sure we're good. And then we're gonna start switching stuff. And we'll go from there. Yeah, here we go. All right, we're gonna run down range, take a look at that group, see what we need to do to adjust it. It'll give you an idea of what just the standard rifle is capable of as far as a group size, kind of right out of the box or out of the gate here. Okay guys, you're seeing on the GoPro here, this is our group. We're probably looking at just a little over an inch there, a little over an inch there. You know, with a red dot, it's actually quite hard to see. If you're familiar or not, I don't know, but maybe it's just my old eyes, but it's kind of hard to see these small 1-inch dots at even 50 yards, let alone 100. So my guesstimation is, as we increase the quality of the components in the gun, especially that Holosun red dot, which has better glass in it, and then the 3x magnifier, we'll really be able to hone in and get tighter groups, right? Aim small, miss small. Or we won't, and the rifle is simply only capable of that level of accuracy. But I'm actually gonna call that zeroed, good enough, and then we're gonna go back and start swapping parts. All right guys, we've got the upper separated from the lower here. You can see, I don't know if you can see or not, but just standard run-of-the-mill AR trigger here. We're gonna swap out for the TriggerTech duty trigger, and it's fixed again at 3.5 pounds. So we're going to see what kind of difference that makes. Because it's YouTube, I can't show you the actual swap out, but I'll show you the before and after. Okay guys, so the only thing we've changed now is the TriggerTech trigger. And aim at a new dot down there, see if it improves our accuracy at all. Here we go. All right, let's go check the downrange group. That was an expected result. Generally, when you switch to a better trigger, groups improve. Like, the shooter is the issue with all bad groups, in my opinion, unless you get a bad rifle, but that's few and far between. I feel like the shooter induces a lot of the error. And so here we see factory trigger and we see custom trigger, right? Or high-end duty trigger. Like, they still make a trigger that's better than that duty trigger. That you can adjust the pull down even further. But you can see here we've got a solid 1 inch, and up here we've got 1.5 to 2 inches on that group. So next we're going to throw the suppressor out on the front and put another group in, see if anything changes besides the point of impact shift, because that's probably going to happen. All right guys, so again, I can't show on YouTube mounting a suppressor because these are evil, you know. So I'm going to switch from the standard muzzle device that was on here to the KGM R30 titanium. I'll come back with the next shot being that, and we'll get 3 more shots down on paper. We're going to go for another group down there and see if it stays the same, gets worse, or whatever. I am expecting a bit of a point of aim increase, or offset rather. We'll see what happens. Second row down from the top in the center. Okay, well, here we are right here. We obviously shifted a little bit, maybe a little bit left and a little bit down, but boy, not much from the previous group. This one seems to be right at 1 inch, maybe a little less than 1 inch center to center, whereas this guy's going to end up being 1 inch or slightly more. So I think we did improve our group again slightly by adding the silencer. So now we're going to go back and we're going to change out the optic to the Holosun red dot and 3x magnifier. We're going to go up here and see if we improve yet again. All right guys, I'm fairly certain that I am allowed to show optics being mounted. So I'm going to go ahead and show this part to you guys, which is nothing more than quick throw levers and we're done. So give me just a minute here. Let me come up to you. There it is. Gosh, that was painful. So it is the side flip. I am going to use the magnification, and we're going to go from here. All right, let's go see if it made any real difference in group size, and also it could have just made it way easier for me to see what I'm aiming at down there. Like the 3x magnifier at 50 yards means that I can see the dot here. I can superimpose it over that 1 inch sticky, no problem seeing the edges of the sticky and what I'm supposed to be centering my dot up on. So let's go see. All right guys, right up here. So we've got 2 that are almost touching and then 1 that's a little bit further over. What I'm gonna actually do before we close this out is I'm gonna go fire 2 more groups here and just see if we get any kind of consistency out of that, because if we do, if it prints a 1 inch group over here and a 1 inch group over here, and it did the same here and here, well, that's probably just the capability of that ammo with that rifle, you know. But if we can go here and here and tighten those up, then we'll take the average of them and we'll call it that. So yeah, like that or not, because I didn't do it with the other ones. Whatever. Leave me all your comments because it helps me with the algorithms. Okay, top row on the far left, and then another one on the far right. And on the far right. All right, let's go down range, check it out. Definitely tighter at about 3/4 of an inch. And of course, I'll put all these measurements up for you. And roughly the same, maybe a little tighter between this guy and this guy. This was a little tighter. This is definitely tighter. So we're gonna average those and come up with whatever that is. Call that the capability of the rifle system, since this is how it's gonna be ran from here on out. But you can see an obvious improvement. Hopefully this video shows you guys that a basic or entry-level AR-15 sporting rifle does not have to be boring, right? We can add a trigger, we can add a silencer, we can add an optical solution that helps us get better accuracy, and we can throw a $5 rattle can paint job on there that turns out looking better than expected. Hit that subscribe button, guys, and stay tuned for more great videos from Precision Rifle Network.